Hey, morning everybody. My name is Giovanni Williams. I just want to discuss something. I'm going to call it the Eminem Affect. It's concerning the Slim Jesus epidemic that's been going on right now. I'm a hip hop fan, 80s, 90s. Coming off of the high times. When Africa Bambaataa, Public Enemy, KRS One. Those guys were bringing some real truth and light into hip hop. You had Queen Latifah, MC Light, really bringing hip hop to a place where it was well recognized. B-boying, breakdancing, all that good stuff. But everything changes. You can't fight that. But I think the most important part is the people who have been around to notice those eras in hip hop should have created a avenue where people could still understand and see the importance of it, especially lyrically. You know, very few artists today are lyrical, very few. And basically hip hop has become like a trash can right now. And I mean, a lot of people might not agree with what I'm saying, but it has. I mean, when you look at, I'm not saying Eminem is to blame for that because I find he's a very talented MC. Um, I just find he has a lot of white privilege that other folks don't have. Name me another rapper in the industry that has been brought in by the people who signed him to a record deal and really nurtured by them, whereas he doesn't even have to do anything anymore. He's basically set. I won't be surprised in the next couple years Dr. Dre will be working for Eminem because Eminem might be running into school. So that's another story there altogether. They ain't gonna give Dr. Dre a piece of that pie. So eventually the student will become the master will become the student. But that's neither here nor there. It is what it is. Things changes. But what I want to talk about is the Slim Jesus epidemic that's been going on. When we look at the situation, I was looking at I think it's Vlad TV. And when you look at these guys, them you see a lot of these guys with these black guys around them. And I can understand that these guys probably don't have, so they're in an opportunity where they're getting their 15 minutes of fame, and the young man Slim Jesus, whatever his name is making that possible. I could understand that. But what I can't understand is they're not seeing the bigger picture. Look what's going to happen in the near future. If if Slim Jesus gets a record deal, couple of things going to happen, right? If it's not happening already. Number one, he's going to be pressured into not hanging with those guys anymore because he's going to be looked at as an asset for the record company. An asset which the record company is going to invest millions of dollars in to make him a star. Number one, because he's white. Yes. And number two, because he's singing songs that will send other black guys out there to kill each other. Simple. So that's like a double plus for them because he's white. They're gonna promote him, and he's singing songs. He's rapping about stuff that'll make other fellas go out and kill each other. So guns, guns, kill, kill, savage, savage. Hey, we're gonna promote it, and it's white, no problem. So they're gonna pressure him into cutting loose some of his friends, and then if that not be the case, a couple of his friends around him, like a lot of people want to see the Illuminati and sacrifices. If you look at it that way, I sure bet a couple guys around him will be used as a sacrifice, if you want to put it that way. Nobody have to believe me, but you'll see it down the road. You'll see it happening, okay? Cause he's gonna be a mega star. Why? Because he's gonna have white America and black America backing him. As you see already, he done has an entourage of a lot of black guys hanging around him, waving guns and everything. None of them sitting down looking at the fact that, hey, at night, do they sleep this in the same area or the same place as he does? If that's the case, kudos. If not, then you have a problem. If he leaves a group of people to go to a different section to live, then that's crazy. So hopefully that's not the case. But what's most important, why I call it the Eminem effect, is basically simple. I'm not saying white fellas cannot be MCs, but you're coming into a a genre of music that doesn't belong to you. It's not yours. They're basically, and I agree with Lajama 100% when he says white people are against in hip hop. We tend to shrug our shoulders as black people and disagree and whatever the case may be. When you take the other guy from Bad Boys, that white boy, HGK, whatever his name is, same situation. He's doing an interview on Vlad TV, and what's 3 or 4 black guys surrounding him. That's all they know. That's what they go up with. No problem. But then he goes on to say that black people should take it as a compliment when he says black girls give better head. How is that a compliment? So you're telling me that the black females, I as a black man should accept the fact that you're saying they're better sex slaves than white women? I know he didn't say sex slaves, but come on. Why would I look at it as a compliment for you to say they give better head? But I guess the guys around him agree. Okay, back to Slim Jesus. He's a young fella. If Slim Jesus' parents are involved with whatever he's doing, and they see the money, and the people from the record company sit down with them and say, look, we're gonna do a video. We don't need those guys around him. We can bring in some guys to fill in, and they can do the same thing that he's doing. You know, wave around the guns, but we don't want those guys around him specifically. Your 15 minutes of fame is gone. If his parents are involved, if he does sign a deal, if he's smart enough, he'll stay independent. He'll make his bread. You can't get vexed. I mean, I can't get vexed for the young man for doing that. But let me finish off with his parents. So the record company, if he signs with a record company, you know they're gonna sit with his parents and be like, look, it's very bad for your son to have these guys around him, if his parents aren't telling him that already. So imagine somebody putting millions of dollars in your son's account where you would benefit from it. You would tell your son, don't hang around those guys, and that's what's gonna happen. And at the end of the day, anything happens, the only people that will be getting hurt is the black people. Is the young black men. I know it's kind of crazy, but they are the only ones that gonna suffer severe consequences from this whole situation. The only ones, cause Slim Jesus is gonna be protected from top to bottom. So if he stays independent, they have a good chance of having their 15 minutes of fame. I don't know what they do. I don't know if they're rappers as well. I don't know. But that's basically gonna happen. So if he signs a deal and they get in contact with his parents, which they probably would, they would convince his parents to listen. We don't need all these guys. We don't. So your 15 minutes of fame is out the window. So it is very sad to see that these young black guys hang their everything on this guy. Now I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. They could be very intelligent young black men. You know, so they could be the ones writing his music. I don't know. It's a possibility, but it's not. I'm seeing a trend of nobody studying hip hop. Nobody studying and seeing the damage that this kind of music has done to the hip hop industry and continues to do to the hip hop industry. Everybody want to be savages. Everybody want to be, cowboys. It gets you nowhere. It gets you nowhere. Just in a box, 9 feet, 15 feet, or 6 feet, 12 feet, however they put you. I think it's 6 feet, or in a 8 by 8 cell, or 8 by 10 cell for 15, 20, 30 years. So I mean, hip hop is like any industry. You need to study it, especially the guys that are not the artists. If you're not the artist, you especially need to study hip hop. You need to see where most of the entourage guys end up. And if you can't see that, if you don't notice that, then you have a big problem. Because then you're just one in a long list of guys who are doing the same thing over and over and over. So if you want it for your 50 minutes of fame, young men, I don't have a problem with that. But know exactly what you're doing and know exactly how you can benefit from it. Don't be just an average Joe. Don't be just one who ends up like everybody else. You want to be part of an entourage? No problem. You want to be part of a savage group? No problem. But the consequences, that's my whole issue right here. So, you know, don't get caught up in the hype, because at the end of the day, when a record company decides to put 50 or maybe even let's say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 million investment into that young man, anything that looks like a hindrance of them making back their money, they will eliminate it. And I'm not talking about killing, I'm not talking about sacrificing, just making sure that he's not around these young men who can be potentially hazardous to they making back their money and him becoming a star. So you'll just be used. Okay, I'm not saying that that's what he's gonna do. I don't know the young man. I don't know how good they are, how strong their friendship are, their bonds are. I don't know. But when you look at Eminem and D12, I mean, those guys probably living rich, have the money, live lavish, you know. But they could be out there with no money as well. I don't know, which I doubt it. I don't think that, I don't know Eminem personally. It's not my business to critique or whatever. I'm just speaking my mind. That's all it is. But just be careful what you're doing, and don't be just a statistic in the situation where young men, you're part of an entourage and you end up dead or in jail because you're fighting for somebody who doesn't want to fight for themselves. Okay, so if you're going into this Slim Jesus epidemic, know how you can benefit from it and come out of it alive to tell a story. Okay, that's all I gotta say. I mean, peace out. Giovanni Williams, and like I always say, don't be a dream chaser, be a dream creator, because nobody gonna create your dreams for you. So peace out, have a good day.